everybody hear themselves in the headphones.
Working on it.
Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's show them how to hit the flow.
Sorry.
You gotta put these in bucket head size.
Meanwhile, Tim tunes cars live from the podcast.
Yeah, that's why I brought my laptop up, because I got those high needs customers.
$8 million. Are we recording right now?
Yep.
Okay.
Start the podcast. Cheers, everyone.
I started already.
Yeah. Started because
My bad.
it's not bad. First time I've had the blue flavor.
I'm done saying which number podcast we're on because I think I've done it wrong every time.
No, you haven't. You did it right last time, didn't you?
One time I did it wrong.
Oh,
I think the
I
last time.
see you spared no expense with the Steel Reserve Blue Raz.
Well, this goes in line with the go fast, not broke mentality. This is probably the most cost-effective drink you can get.
I mean,
Cost effective.
pretty much there too.
Yeah.
This is what, like two for
Days.
$2.50? Thank you, Speedway.
You see.
I'll say Al, when he was living with me, he showed me that, and I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty
They're
fucking
not
good.
bad either.
No, not terrible.
They don't taste like $1.25.
I cannot believe, like, you know how many more viewers, listeners we would have if you picked up like four Locos. Like,
God, I don't wanna
do you
die.
know what would ensue?
I mean,
I don't want to die.
This ain't the last podcast. that one we do with Four Locos might be.
Stay tuned next Monday for the four.
ZZPerformance explodes.
No.
Why?
We have to
Love it.
drink 2 each. So you have to shotgun one
God.
to start the podcast off, and then drink one during.
We're gonna have to do this in the morning so we can all sober up before we leave.
All right, I got to go. I can't be a part of this.
Let's be real here. I don't even know if we'll be here next Monday with all this Corona
Yeah.
stuff. Going on.
Not wrong. Well, I mean, Trevor, lead us off. You know, we have stuff to talk about today,
Yeah, pretty
boys.
much. I'm Trevor. Everyone knows me. If you want to go around, introduce yourselves.
Ryan D at ZZP. For those of you who don't know, it's Casual Friday. These guys really didn't get a part of that, but I did. I'm wearing pajama pants. I don't know if y'all see this. Look at this. Fucking Too Fast, Too Furious shirt. What you know. Come at me.
Al and I had a sleepover last night, so this is his hoodie, and that's mine.
You guys are so cute.
Yep.
I was definitely the small spoon.
These things run so weird though. Like I had to cut. This is a 3X, and I had to cut it to get it over my bucket head.
That's just
neck
because your head is
also
massive, Al.
runs
Your head is
weird.
literally massive.
Yeah, my sister's walked out.
Oh. And who are you?
And then I'm Tim, and I'm wearing a hoodie that my mom embroidered.
Nice.
So how about that?
Thank you, Deborah. She makes some
Shout
really nice ones.
Deborah has given me one as well. So, Deborah, thank you very much. I'll see you next time.
Is
I
that
hear
needy?
she was looking for a new shirt today. Speaking of new shirt.
Oh,
Yes.
my Deborah.
Yep.
For background, there are like 5 of us here that our moms are named Deborah. Tim is
I got
Debra.
needy customer.
My mom is Deborah. Then Steve Hickman's is Debra too. So we have Deborahs.
All kinds of
All
Debras.
Deborahs. It's funny because you really don't hear that name anymore.
No.
I haven't heard someone called Deborah ever. Tell that customer that they can wait. You're on a podcast.
It's Widowson, and I know he's gonna watch.
Jason.
Man.
Jason, come on, dude. You needy M62 LSJ motherfucker.
He's on a TVS now.
It doesn't matter. What does that have anything to do with anything?
Oh, he's still slow.
Oh, well, man, yeah, get a turbo on that thing. We have. Speaking of which, we just released our Z57 boys and girls. And that means stage 3 LSJ entry-level turbo kit as well.
Yep.
That's going to make some jam.
Still a budget kit.
Still a budget kit.
Yep.
And what's crazy is I'm thinking that's like the limits of the stock manifold.
I really think with the Z57 in there, it's gonna pretty much get to everything that stock manifold can flow. I mean, the Z54 wasn't far from it.
Oh yeah, Z57 do it. Z57 is ball bearing over the journal bearing of the Z54, aluminum center section. Like it's a badass. That's what we actually just made the world record LTG ATS number with on my car on a Z57. So it can make some jam.
Yeah, I was really impressed with it after the one we have in the shop, Cobalt, and driving that around. Like the upgrades we did on that, like from what we learned from the Z54 and knew what we wanted to upgrade, put that in the Z57. Now we're going to take all those good qualities and put them back in the next generation of Z54. So that turbo is going to spool even faster and support even more power.
Jesus.
Great.
That's
Lots of cool stuff coming from us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, we got the V3 turbo, which is amazing. I mean, it's the turbo the Sonic should have came with.
100%.
More power, quicker spool. I mean, everything.
Quicker than stock, right?
Way quicker than stock. Yeah.
Jesus.
About 400 or 500 RPM quicker than stock, and it carries power out.
Yeah.
So instead of power tanking at like 6,100 RPM, it carries all the way to like 7 grand.
And this is different because, I mean, as we're all turbo guys here, like usually when the AR goes up, the spool goes down, but you usually get more flow. But this one is kind of an all around. You've gotten more like faster spool, and you got more top end, which is magical. Like Sonic's consistently getting over 200 horsepower to the tires now, really easy, like a stage 2 kit.
Yeah, on pump gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Like the valve float issue that we fought for so long.
Yeah.
It wasn't from the boost and the valve change being weak necessarily. It's from the back pressure that you fight. So just putting the V3 on, you can rev almost 1,000 RPM higher before it starts valve floating on stock springs.
So those with valve springs, you're just setting yourself up to make.
I mean, yeah, you can take it 75-ish and it just keeps going.
For those of you who don't know, both Tim and Al both tune Sonics. Tim does, like, you know, if you guys do remote tunes with it, that's going to be Tim, you know, who's drowning in remote tunes because he's been getting so many. And Al, you know, he's been doing a lot of the cut stuff to like back Tim up and things like that. So we got a pretty solid team. But
yeah, we got 3 guys doing remote tunes full time. Like we have Matt doing 16 plus LTG. We have me doing 3,800 still. Like I'm still sending out like many PCMs
I can't
per
believe
day.
how long that market's lasted.
That market is strong.
It keeps going.
like it's this weird. The 300 is just this very strange car. It's a niche market car.
Yep.
But it's like the owners have done it, and that's kind of what we're going to leeway into kind of what we were talking about today, right, Trevor?
Yeah, that's a good transition. We're so I got these guys together because we've all been here at least last year for both Dyno Days we've offered. So we've got 2 completely different crowds. We've got 3,800 guys, which we just mentioned, and we've got Ecotech guys.
And by the way, Ecotech is Sonic, ATS, and pretty much all of our platforms are Ecotech, not just on our website. We have an Ecotech category.
Yeah, it's not just it's not just Cobalt Ion.
Yeah. So I have a lot of ranting to do, but I'm not gonna cut my friends off here because once they're done, I'm gonna go in hard.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep. So Dyno Days last year, my first Dyno Days here, I had the 3,800 one first, which was awesome. Crazy turnout. Everyone did super cool.
Ton of people.
Those dudes still roll deep. Like it's.
They were meeting up
I'm not
before they
going
even
there
got
yet.
here.
They kept me busy on that dyno. You guys are working me hard.
Yeah, so
We had like 4 to 6 people pretty much all day long on the dyno, and it was exhausting.
it's not hanging out for us as much as it is for them. I mean, these guys are the worst
I mean,
day of the
it's
year
still
for
a
them.
blast and it's still worth it, but it is a long,
It's
hard
hot
day.
there.
Yeah,
Very hot.
on the dyno. Then from the sales side, you know, there are people coming to the window constantly and stuff like that, but not as many people that should be.
Yep.
So I mean,
Yeah.
so
The Ecotech one was a
failure.
little sad.
It was a failure.
A little sad.
I'll just straight up say it was a failure. Like, yeah, we have the dyno running all day and things like that, and that's cool.
The people that came, we still had a good time
Yeah.
with and everything.
But compared to the 3,800 guys, Ecotech guys, y'all suck.
yeah,
Like-
and we're not pointing that at the guys that did show up, because
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
guys that did come, I mean, there were some people that came a really long ways. I mean, Scott came all the way down from Canuckia just
Yeah.
to hang out with us. He didn't even bring a car to dyno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he did bring my car, which was awesome.
That was, yeah, your new show, yeah. Still a show. But,
Yep. And we've got stupid cheap dynos,
yeah.
discounts on parts. You can see the whole building, hang out with all of us. Like,
Yeah, so I'm sure we're gonna go apart to each side of it. Like these guys see the dyno side. You know, I saw the sales side. Like it was cool because we saw some really nice cars there. But you know, this year we had a car show with giveaways and things. And I'm really big in the car show scene. But it's kind of, I mean, Ecotech guys, we don't just throw meets together. It's not free per se. Like. We're all paid to be there, number one, and then we're throwing this event together, so we're giving up our Saturdays. Like a lot of people, this kind of a side rant, but I think all of us can attest to this.
there's food trucks.
Yeah,
and you
there's
gotta
a lot.
pay to have an event, and there's a lot
People-
that goes into it.
People forget that we're people. That we don't want to always be working. We're not working 24/7, and unfortunately, your guys' emergencies aren't our emergencies. Like when you Facebook stalk most of us at 11 o'clock at night, guys, have a little tact. You know, like we're trying to sleep, we're trying to mess around with our ladies or whatever, or have you. Like, but we're in family time. We're not at ZZP time 100% of the time. If we can't help you, whatever. But
I'll be honest. Most of the time when somebody Facebooks me after hours, I don't answer. Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
You know, it depends. But like a lot of the time, I just leave it till the next day because like I need my time off. I'm already here like 11, 12 hours a day. Like I need a break.
Yeah, we're all here massive amounts of time. And Al, you go home in tune when you have to pick up your kids, and
one of the things that I think hit me differently with the people coming through Facebook is before I came here and I was on my own, that was my main method of communicating with all my customers and friends and all the car people, all the tech questions, all that stuff. So I think over the years, people just got used to knowing that's the way you get a hold of Al.
Yep.
And I do get tons of emails, but the Facebook messages didn't slow down one bit.
Yeah.
And so, there's times I have to just ignore it and prioritize the emails first.
Yeah.
And kind of like Tim, if I have a few minutes in the evening and I see something that I can help someone out real quick, I don't have a problem with that.
Well,
but
there's a reason why we use email too. It's so much easier to log and search and
keep organized.
Track of.
Yeah.
And people just don't do their own research too. Like, I'm not going to call out anybody.
We're not your Google.
Yeah, I've had customers call in today for something like we asked, hey, where's my battery located? Like, I'm not bullshitting you. We had a guy with a newer platform vehicle. I'm not going to say any names, but he called and was like, hey, how do I get my negative battery terminal off? Or where's my battery? Is it in the trunk? Is it in the front? How do I get an A pillar off? Like, guys, like,
who owns the car?
Gonna say any names?
I'm just saying.
Oh yeah,
it is tough. Like, please do a basic Google search before you ask us really, really basic questions. Like, use us like when you're emailing like Ryan, Al, myself, you gotta keep in mind we're pretty advanced techs to be answering where's your battery.
Yeah, like and calling in like that, and then.
And we have people like, Al, Matt, and I have people that are waiting on remote tunes. And we have people emailing us, where's my battery? Like, come on.
Yeah, like, it's something that's simple. But kind of go back to Dyno Days.
But anyways,
we're going to have so many tangents.
We might as well just go right into it. I'm kind of, we're at the point where we don't know if we can do Dyno Days this year.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I mean, the 3800s have moved, and they're going for a whole new venue and stuff. Separate.
I didn't even know about that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, they're run off their group. They've just been here.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Yeah. But the Ecotech guys, we don't know if we can swing it unless something crazy happens.
Yeah,
but
I mean, we all like doing it. It's fun. It's a value-added thing we can do for the community, but we still have to run the numbers on it, and we can't take a huge hit just because it's fun.
Yeah, like
we're willing to take a hit, but it
as long as we can justify
it. A profit. I mean, we want the market to advance, but when it costs us a lot.
Yeah, good. Food trucks, the time of at least 13 to 20 employees, the hot sun, the losing the Saturday, like Ecotech guys, we gave you guys a handicap. I'm like I was pushing for. I'm like, okay, we have 3 to 4 various platforms. Like we have our LTG platform, we have our Ecotech, which are Cobalt ones. That's a huge platform. Like all these platforms, people come out. Let's go. Like we ran a car show. I did judging. Like, but we didn't have like not even half of the 3800 market. 3800 market, they
wasn't even close.
No, 3800 guys, they filled up the whole back lot. People walking around giving. It was amazing. I'll be the first to admit, 3800s are not my favorite cars in the world. I don't mind them, but they're not my favorite. And the 3800 guys came out. They represented high quality builds. Some made good power. We had a Riviera with a 4 GT blower on it. It made over 500 to the tire. That's freaking nuts. In a Riviera.
It was so loud.
Yeah, freaking. We played the video in the room, and you like ran through the day. I just hear whining like from this big blower. And you're like, that's that. But Ecotech guys, you didn't show up. Like we talked about it all year. We gave you months. And you didn't show up. We had our main was like Angie Primo, right? Angie, that's her name? Sorry, Angie, if I butchered your last name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she showed up. Jason Whittleson showed up. Some of your heavy hitters who are doing these thorough, nice quality builds. But people just didn't show. We had like the front parking lot and like a little bit of
we
the
had
side.
a pretty good sized group come all the way from Ohio.
Yeah, the Ohio guys, you guys, shout out to you guys because they just did well. But it was no more packed than it was on a normal work day. Like,
And we
Angie,
want to do Dyno Days more than you guys even. Like,
Yeah.
it's our favorite day of the year,
Yeah.
so it's not easy for us to not do it. But
yeah.
Angie Helmbright came out too from Maryland, but that's like an every weekend occurrence for her, just
Yeah.
hiking all the way across the
Yeah.
country for
Exactly.
some car thing.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's really frustrating me because you were there and you were there. This is a little bit before your time, Trev, but we were there at the original Crate Engine Depot meets. Way back, like
I was
back
just
when
watching the
gotta
video
go
this
there.
morning.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Like, I went to pretty much all of them. Like, I went from, it was a small service bay when I had my 2.2 Cobalt back in like 07. And we went in there. We all got to park inside the dealership when the Cobalts were new, and so the owners were like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah," So we were all getting together. But then it moved to up north to Grays Lake, and then
Was this when you had an SS wing on your base model Cobalt?
did I have it at that point? I think I did. I think so. Everyone knows I had a 2.2
Not
yellow.
surprised.
I wanted a Rally Yellow 06 LSJ, like no one's business. That was my shit. But
Wait
I
a
had-
second. So you had a wing and you still spun out?
No. This is on my base model.
Oh, the SS was the one that.
Yeah. So that
you needed a bigger wing on that
yeah,
SS.
evidently, I need something. I need driver skills. What I need too, but. Yeah, like the second Crate Engine Depot meet, because I at this point I was kind of getting involved with ZZP, but I have my been through cars and yellow one. This one you were kind of getting into it too, Al. Like we went up there and it was a massive amount of people. There was like
it was huge.
over 400 people there. They traveled from Florida. We had someone come in from Texas, some people from California. They drove all around to come to this meet, and we had fun. I remember because I was kind of getting
There's John Zaretz. He's one of the Canadian guys that has a lightly modded LSJ. He drove over 24 hours.
That's what I'm saying. We can't get
Years in a row.
We couldn't get people to come from freaking Tennessee. We have people ship our cars nationwide, but you Ecotech guys, you guys didn't show up for anything.
Did those Crate Engine Depot ones still? Is that still going on, or
Sort of. I mean, it
kind of died off?
Yeah, it was ran by Tom Romanowski. I'm sorry if I butchered your last name. Tom's
Romanowski.
great. Yeah, he's a super nice guy. He's always greeted me with a smile and everything. But Tim, you remember when it was a year, I just got my turbo kit on the white car on the Snowball for the first time, and pretty much no one was doing that. It's kind of like right before the time where turbos got popular on LSJs and LNFs. I was one of the top at that point, if not the top one. So it was I gotta see Snowball, this and that. So we out racing. It was Mustang Shabito brought his Cobra out there, but ZZP came out there. It was huge. It was absolutely massive. There was over 400 Cobalts. Seeing all people's sort of unique builds and everything. Tim was tuning that day. Matt was tuning that day. You had shown up. You were still just getting into it. Oh man, I can rant for hours about it, and so I'm going to stop now. But
It was huge.
I'm just really disappointed at how the car scene in general too, because
I love Cobalts personally.
Yeah.
I mean, they're great cars. I can't believe that people aren't buying more of them to mod them.
Yeah, they're getting at that price point. We're
It's a
track
cheap
car.
car.
Yeah.
It's a cheap car that makes power really easily. It handles really well. I mean, that's a great second car as a toy.
yeah,
I mean, Tyler got his Ion for $400, and now it makes over 400 at the wheel.
yeah, and it's reliable.
Cheap
Super
build.
cheap.
He's got
200-something thousand miles on it too, doesn't he?
it's over 200,000 miles, and his car was the one we did the first
Turbo swap.
entry level
Yeah.
turbo swap on. Yeah, and it made over 400 at the tire on the stock catback.
Yeah, it's just frustrating because I see it, and we see these meets in these other states that people are doing, but our communities just don't want to pony up and actually roll out. Even if you guys don't like us, there's some of you watching that just hate us. We Gamma Uncensored, for those of you who don't know, we have people that just refuse to like us and won't give us any sort of credit for pushing the community whatsoever. But there are some people that have hated us, but now are okay with us. Because they know that you don't have to like us, but we're trying to push the community. We're trying to do what's better.
Yeah.
We are a different breed, though.
We are. And that's
We're
fine.
passionate.
Yeah.
We're passionate. If we didn't give a shit about the market, I mean, we would just not care. But, we do care about the market, so we're passionate about it, and that shows. emotional posts.
Yeah, sometimes it comes off as being a little rough.
Yeah.
And it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, we could not care and then not care what happens, but we do care.
Yeah, we do. But I don't know. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating for me. Like, I know what meets can be in the car scene itself. I mean,
Yeah.
we've all seen it. Tim, you've been in the car scene for longer than most of us have. You've seen it go up. I mean, you were here in the Grand Prix days, and you
I
probably
was in the car scene before Fast and Furious.
yeah. Tim, for those of you who don't know, Tim, what kind of car did you have?
Oh, man, a Mitsubishi Eclipse, first gen.
Yeah,
Yes.
I had a livery on it before Fast and Furious came
that's right.
out.
HKS library, right?
Yeah.
So, but again, he was street racing back in the day.
It was like the 4-cylinder in Michigan
Yeah.
for many years.
Back when the 13.5 was fast.
Back when 12.9s, yeah. 12.9s back in 2001 kind of ruled the streets.
I was just thinking the other day, the you owe me a 10-second car line.
Back then. That
Like,
was
if that
a lot.
movie came out now and someone said that, like you would just sit there waiting for the punchline.
Yeah. Well, think about it, you say, oh, you just want a stock car? All right, here you go.
Oh, okay.
But back then, like Tim said, like a 10-second car was unheard of, like especially a 10-second street car. I mean, it shows the technology has come so far, but
Yeah.
now with the community being so
Yeah.
social media, and because Trevor's kind of your area, social like things
I'm
are
not
like,
that young.
Oh no, you're not that young, but like things are different now. People don't
Yeah.
meet up anymore. Like there's no meets. There's
I mean, overall, we can all agree the car community is dying. Kind of what we know it mostly.
Even our
but-
local meets are really hit and miss in the summertime.
oh god,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which
But-
I don't
yeah.
even understand that. There's not really any rhyme or reason to it. You'll go out there one week and there'll be 5 people,
Yep.
and then the next weekend there's 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I knew ahead.
It used to be hundreds of people,
Really.
But
hundreds of cars.
I even remember
I used to go clear out to Columbus a couple times every summer for the meet that they would do every
Oh, really?
week out there, and you could just pick a weekend and go, and there'd be hundreds of cars.
Yeah.
I remember even when I was in high school, you could text that day and be like, "Hey, who's taking their cars out?" And you could come up with 10 people to go hang out.
Yeah.
Easy.
easy.
And now,
Good luck getting 4 people to go on a cruise with you.
right?
So I mean, what do you guys think? Like, why do you like? I'd like to hear everyone's opinion.
Yeah.
Like, why do you guys think that the car scene is dying? Like,
Because of rainbow light up keyboards in Fortnite.
it's not bad.
Well, it's a cheaper hobby. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
Cheap. I've seen Ryan's gaming rig. It's not a cheaper hobby.
Have you seen his Cobalt though?
That's a good point.
What do you think, Tim?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of it.
Yeah.
People playing on the internet.
Yeah.
I think people are too busy being internet badasses.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's.
Facebook groups.
I think Facebook. First of all, I mean we're all here.
People
with
don't want to
Forbes.
show up.
Yeah.
But when I go to Texas, they show up there. They show up in Texas.
Maybe
and
some-
when we
But
go
is
to
it-
Chicago, they show up in Chicago.
Yeah.
Is it
Because
young
everyone in
kids, or
Texas is
it-
dual wielding. Ain't no one's gonna run their mouth for no reason out there.
You ain't lying. They come hard in Texas. Yeah, I think a lot of it is social media. Like
Yeah.
people are trying to pretend, and for the internet clout, they're doing these. Oh, I'm doing this amazing build and doing all this stuff, but you won't ever go to a meet. You have to spend the whole year building the car,
Yeah.
and not after you go
Well,
out.
it's I almost get it in a sense too. It's so much more depressing than it used to be. When you see 5-second, 6-second cars out there now, and you're like, well, my Accord is never gonna do that, so why would I even try?
I mean,
Yeah.
that's a different perspective, guys.
when you can buy a stock car with
Well,
800
that's
horsepower.
kind of why I found somewhat of a niche sport for my car. I mean, half mile was the only thing that was going to keep me interested in it.
Yeah. Otherwise, you just go build a LS and put some cheap LS together or something.
Yeah, which I would still love to do, but
Yeah.
I can't get an LS. I can't do it because that thing would be making 4 digits in a weekend.
Yeah.
We all know how I am. I got to stay away from that.
And
I
Tim,
just want to turn corners.
yeah.
Fuck.
Well, Tim, your tastes have gotten more eclectic in the last years too.
Oh, here we
I'm
go.
just saying
Come on,
because
Mr. High
Eclectic.
Horse.
I mean, let's
Do
suppose
you even know what that word means?
I heard a story that Ryan actually transitioned Tim from drag racing. Is that
Oh
right?
yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you sure did.
I've done that to a lot of people here.
Transition's appropriate word.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I was a drag racer because what else do you do? Drag race, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Floor it and hold your wheel straight, I guess. boring.
Yeah.
And then Ryan's like, hey, let's check this. What event?
GPS track time. Shout out to Jimmy. You know, if you guys are looking to get cheap seat time and a lot of practice, you don't need to set up a car to go road racing. You don't need to have this crazy car. Like the stock of the car, the more reliable, it's seat time. That's what gets you fast. But with the GPS track time, he just got his S2000, and ever since he's been hooked.
Yeah. Yep. GPS track time. They go to multiple tracks. So wherever you are, there's a track that you can go to if you go to their website.
Yeah.
Yeah. And once you do that, it's like, holy crap, it's a little more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done that myself yet, so I can't knock it. But I think still one of the nice appeals of drag racing is that
$10
you can go out twice a
week,
week for $10 or $20 a night.
That's true.
And do it all the time.
Yeah. That's
true. Each run might not be as fun, but a lot of the fun for me is just going there and having people with you and seeing what breaks, see if you can fix it on the spot, see what you can zip tie back together.
I hate that part.
Fixing brakes.
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
there's definitely a line. It can cross a line real quickly to where you're like, nope, I'm done. Pack it up. No one likes playing Monopoly. We're going home.
By the way, you know that tastes Tim's new car right here. 2016 BMW M6.
Oh yeah, I was wondering when we were going to mention it.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet car. Makes like over 700 to the tire. Fucking sweet. But you know, I'll say community is everything. You know, kind of tying back into the drag race, and like we all have much more fun racing when we're here. Like for instance, like if I had to go by myself, I wouldn't do it. You know, without you guys here and us going to the track together. Like it's not fun by yourself.
No.
It's just boring, you know, like it's more for the community. Again, this is why this is why people need to go to these meets, because the community is everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, even if you look back at like the hypothetical Mexico street race meets, most of the fun is going there to hang out.
Yeah.
I mean, people go out and do some runs here and there, but most of the fun is just looking at everyone's car and talking about it and trying to figure out who's telling you the truth and who's not.
Oh, yeah, God, I hated the hustle. So did you guys ever have to deal with that in Michigan?
Not really.
Oh,
No.
my God.
I never got to deal with it in Indiana because John Haddock had the first Ion turbo swap kit that ZZP did, and he lived in Fort Wayne with me, and so we did his car. He was one of the first ones to break 500 on the stock engine. Goes out and whoops everyone's ass in Fort Wayne. So by the time I turbo swap my car, I was like, nope, not doing that. You can go just sit here. So I didn't even get to have fun.
Yeah, no. Towards the end, it got like that for me too, because the Snowball was kind of known. Like there's one really fast white car that's not afraid to race any car. And
at the time, mine wasn't even as fast as John's was. I mean, I was making like mid fours, so close. But still, people are like, nah, the Ion with the things
ego.
on the side. No, I don't want it.
The ego. They can't. You can't lose to a Saturn.
No,
you can't lose to a Saturn. That's bad mojo. But yeah, Tim. So we had. In Chicago, I mean, I had actually, Trevor, this kind of your people, a Mitsubishi crew. Like, I was a mostly Mitsubishi crew. That's your people, too, Tim. Like, got milk, Galant VR4 and Evos and stuff. But everyone know that I was kind of like the trump card, because on the highway, I could beat, like, a good, massive chunk of people. But it's always the hustle. Oh, how about you spot me out? How about you give me the hit? Like, yeah, dude, I had a nitrous C6 Z06, which is wanted to race me. I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. You know, I was like, you know, let's set this race up like this. Go, you know, I even offered to do a dig with him. He was like, well, how about you give me the hit? Like, against a nitrous Z06? Are you on crack?
And your front wheel drive, big turbo Cobalt?
Yeah, he probably has twice the tire.
Exactly. He was on a
Twice
305.
the drive tire. Like,
I was on a 235 at the time. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
I remember my first beer.
Yeah, right. But, no, it's just, back then we have a lot of fond memories just from a few years ago. Like, it's just really kind of crappy, Trev. Like,
it's more highway racing now. I mean, there's still a pretty serious group around,
and it's not
we had
died.
We had a few good race nights. My ATS-V at full power versus that C5 Z06.
C6.
Or C6 Z06.
Yeah, that's somebody's local name. We won't mention his name, but he knows who he is. He's a friend of the shop, so he's
that
a good
was
guy.
the closest race
That
I've
was
really
good.
ever had.
Yeah.
That was like, we raced each other like 5 times, and it was always the ATS-V by like an inch. You know?
A good point that brings up, though, is there weren't many mods on your car.
No, not really.
And I think the biggest reason the scene has died down is just people losing interest, being at home, whether it's social media, texting, gaming, whatever.
Damn it now.
That's my wife.
Texting, media, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of
Sorry.
stuff.
We'll get back to you.
But to a smaller degree, the cars have gotten so fast.
They have got. I will admit that, like
It's
5
sketchy.
5 years ago, 8 years ago, say 8 years ago, you could take a turbo 3800 out there and nothing was touching it. Not a single thing. Like a 500 horsepower turbo Grand Prix, nothing touching. But now you have stock cars that you can't outrun.
Yeah. Guys, we decided to split this podcast up into 2 sections, so I'm cutting you off here. Possibly through this week, we're going to try to keep you occupied with a live stream podcast, a Discord sort of thing, so let us know if you're interested in something like that, who you'd want to hear from, what you'd want to hear. We're always open to ideas. So basically, I'll leave you with this. What do you think we can do to save the car community? We're all super passionate about this, obviously, and we want to know how we can all pull together to get events going, get meets going, get everyone out doing what we love to do. So stay safe, stay tuned for the next one. Go fast, not broke.